Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Shivani Gupta, and you're watching our continuous coverage as we will bring you more ground updates on the polling that is taking place in Karnataka today. But first up, we are starting with some breaking updates coming in. First reaction from the Kerala Catholic Church on the controversial film The Kerala Story. Spokesperson of the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council has said that the film is a work of art and the movie exposes atrocities committed by the ISIS. It cannot be so evaluated on the lines of communalism. We've got this reaction coming in. Let's listen in.
A story contains some incident that happened by the ISIS group, that militant group. They have recruited some people from Kerala. That's a fact. I don't know why these political leaders, political parties, irrespective of left and right, came up against this feature film. I think they have some vested interest. Well, really, it is for vote bank system. When somebody says about love jihad, then every eyes and ears looking to the Christian community. That's not the way to look at it. We are against this kind of love which forces the other person to convert from his or her religion to the other person's religion and do according to his or her whims and fancies. That's why we are against this particular form of love.
Well, that's a strong statement coming in from the church representative there in Kerala. Remember, it was the church in Kerala that was one of the first ones to raise an alarm on this issue of, quote, love jihad. And as the bishop is saying there, they don't have a problem with love, but love which comes with a precondition of changing at least one partner's religion and then having them do things that are not part of their life otherwise is problematic. He's also gone on to make a very important statement that those who are complaining against the film The Kerala Story seem to have vested interests and it is vote bank politics that is dominating it. He's obviously talked about the fact that the ISIS has recruited individuals, men and women from Kerala. Some of them have gone in the past to fight for the ISIS, and that's a reality that cannot be denied. Let me also go across to my colleague Pradeep Pillai, News 18 Kerala editor, joining us. Pradeep, very strong statement coming in from the church representative there, and they're also calling out those who are opposing the film The Kerala Story purely because of vote bank politics.
Exactly. So this, you must note, is the very first reaction, official reaction from the Catholic Church in Kerala. Father Jacob Alakapalli is the spokesperson of the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council.
Right.
And he has come out very strongly in support of the movie and the makers of the movie, saying that, it's a work of art. And it should be better seen as such. And it's the freedom of the director and scriptwriter to script it as they please. That is one side. He also goes on to, explain that some movies are based on facts and reality. And that this movie exposes the atrocities committed by the IS. And it cannot be just called in the lines of communalism. What he points out is that why is the huge hue and cry from various political parties, including the ruling left front and the Congress-led United Democratic Front. He goes on to explain that there have been many instances of women being recruited to the IS, trapping them in the web of love. And the movie displays that, and it upsets many. And nobody brands the IS as a version of Muslims or Islam. He also says that the movie does not denigrate anyone. It's a story of Kerala because such recruitments have happened here. And love jihad is a reality that many cannot stomach, is what Father Jacob Alakapalli reiterates. And he says that forced conversion of faith after love marriage is totally unacceptable. He said that this converted people after love marriage, if a person forces his or her partner or spouse to accept any particular religion, that's not true love. And they said that after this conversion, the people are sent to Syria or other places where the IS or militants are ruling. And he says it is a crime. He said the makers of the movie, the scriptwriters, have listened to the stories. The victims have come before the media. The families of victims have come before the media. The scriptwriter has taken this as the base for creating the movie, maybe adding a bit of fiction.
Yeah,
And we say
absolutely.
that why
Absolutely. But
are we
I'm
left
just going to
in-
come back to you, Pradeep, for how the ruling government in Kerala is going to look at this statement. Because this is, as you said, the first official reaction from the clergy, the church clergy, the Christian clergy in Kerala. But I also want to go across to Tom Varakan of the BJP joining us. Tom Varakan, you've got the Catholics Bishops' Council representative saying that those who are opposing this movie, the Kerala story, seem to have some vested interests.
Well, from what I could understand of the statement, I haven't seen it completely, but what I understand is it's a very nuanced statement. He talks about the creativity, he talks about the ISI and the links, and that ISI should be banned. It's very carefully crafted statement, and I think it is a reflection of the truth that prevails in that film. So I think it is a film that has been cleared by the censor board. I have been myself a member of the censor board and the appellate board too. So I think it has a right to be shown everywhere, and it's not to be treated the way it is being treated. The politicization of a film is indeed in bad, I see it in a bad light. Films should be seen, discussed, and the debate should follow. And it's very informative, and I think young people across the country should see it and understand the phenomenon that has taken root in this country.
Yes, and the phenomenon that you're talking about, Tom Varakan, or what this movie also hints at, is, quote, love jihad. Now, whether we agree with the term love jihad or not, the reality is that a lot of people have been lured for love or otherwise by friends and others, as this movie also portrays. And these are real incidents that many people, especially girls, have gone through in Kerala. But there's a huge section that doesn't want to accept that there's anything of this kind that happens, whether it's in Kerala or anywhere else in the country.
Well, interestingly, the Congress party has opposed the film, and their own chief minister, Umman Chandi, in the House has said there were 25,000 cases of conversion into this kind of marriages. That is a matter of fact which has happened in the House in Kerala. And so has the chief minister, the left chief minister, also stated this in the House. So I don't know what the current dispensation is so worried about, whether it's about appeasement. You see, you don't get votes by banning a film. On the contrary, the film, it is an advice to the government of the day that the minute you ban, it becomes more popular. Then the question is, when you call it a propaganda film, a lot of other people want to see it. So these things don't work. Let the film stand on its own legs and
on its own merit. But you know, I do want to add here, the Kerala government has not actually banned this film, but there are of course reports coming in that there is undue pressure to not screen this movie in some theatres at least. So is the case in Tamil Nadu, but West Bengal is the only state that has officially banned this movie. That is also subject to legal challenge. But you know, another quick comment, Tom Varakan, I think the interesting bit about the bishop's comment also is the fact that for some people, minority in India only means a particular community. Now, the Christians are also a minority in most states. How is it that their concerns fall on deaf ears? Because they were the first ones to raise these concerns about dubious conversions.
This is a complaint the Christians have had for quite some time, and the feeling that they are also minority. But what we need to understand is this is not about a minority community or any minority community. This is about radicalized youth.
Right.
And they are the people who are involved in it. This is not about the Muslim community. This is about a section of radicalized youth who are misusing the kind of the powers that they have, the money power, the muscle power, and doing what they're doing, and being mentored by international terrorist organizations.
Tom Varakan, just stay with me. I'm joined by AIMIM leader Waris Pathan as well. AIMIM, of course, is one of those parties that has highly objected to this movie, The Kerala Story. They find it demonizing for the Muslim population in the country. But here you have a church representative, Waris Pathan, who's saying that people have a problem with this only because of vote bank politics. ISIS recruitment in Kerala is a reality. Conversions of girls to recruit them as sex slaves for the ISIS is a reality. Then why are you opposing this film?
The film is full of lies, canards, and is a propaganda film. The producer and director earlier said that 32,000 girls have been converted and sent to ISIs, and the very next day they come up that it was just a teaser, and we have only story about 3 girls. So was this not like for few bucks you try to create hatred, try to create communal divide in the country, flare up the communal divide in our country? So they should be charged for this. When the High Court asked them, what is your, how can you come up with 32,000 girls? They said, no, we just came to know. Right? If 32,000 girls or 50,000 girls were going outside India and joining the ISIs or converted, what was the...
But do you agree
national
that there were
security
3 girls who did it? In fact, the number is a little bit higher than that. But let's go by the version of the movie, that there are 3
what
girls
was the-
who were converted from their previous religion into Islam and sent as sex slaves for the ISIS fighters. You agree on that?
What was the intelligence doing that? What was the Home
I'm not
Ministry
asking you
doing
that question.
that?
I'm asking you, do you accept that reality at least, that 3 to 5 girls were sent to fight for the ISIS?
The Constitution has given the right to individual to practice religion of his own choice. And if somebody is converting of her own choice, it is for her. But here the thing is that...
But is it not a matter of concern, Varis Pathan, that these girls were then recruited to fight for the ISIS?
If recruitment was taking place in our country, if recruitment was taking place in our country, what was the national security doing? What was the Home Ministry doing? Is it not their fault? And when...
If is not the
that's what I
question
say.
I'm asking. I'm asking you, will you,
You
at
are asking
least
me a question which I
concede?
don't know.
One
You are
second,
asking
will
me a
you at
question, I'm
least
answering your question.
concede that
Don't put
3
words
to
into my
5
mouth.
girls were converted and sent to fight for
Don't
the
put words
ISIS?
into my mouth. 50,000 girls. If I'm at the
I'm not
NCRB
asking you
data
about
shows that
50,000 girls. Why are you shying
asking-
away
I'm
from
replying to your-
accepting?
I'm
One
replying.
second, don't shout over me. Why are you shying
No,
away
no,
from
no, you're right.
accepting that 3 girls were converted and sent to fight for the ISIS? That's all I'm asking you. Forget about everything else.
NCRB data says 50,000 girls have been converted into Gujarat and sent to ISIs.
That's not true.
was
That's
the
not
Home
true.
Ministry
There is
doing?
no such data.
What was the...
Varis Pathan,
What is the
there is
data
no
with
such
these
data.
people? What is the data with the producers of the Kerala story, a propaganda film to show and suggest that 32,000
Okay, let me
girls
bring
have
in Tom
converted?
Varakan one more time if he's still with us. This is what I'm talking about, Tom Varakan. Whether it's 1, 3, 10, 15, it's the insistence to not accept that it happened in Kerala in the last 20 years itself.
The party that the spokesman he represents has a liability to answer questions. And naturally, you expect answers of that kind. But you must draw his attention to the fact that the Chief Minister of Kerala, Sri Ummanchandi, talked about a statistic 25,000 people have been converted. Now, this is data in the House. This is what he spoke in the House. So if you want to go and delete it now, please go ahead and delete it. But as a matter of fact, it exists. And then there was the earlier Chief Minister of Left also stated in the House in Kerala data about this issue. So let us not, sweep things under the carpet just because it is about radicalized youth. It is not about the community.
Okay.
And I'm repeating myself, it is not about the Muslim community. It is a set of radicalized youth.
I wonder
who are
why it is
misusing.
not taken as a concern for the community itself if this is happening. Actually, that brings greater bad name to the state of Kerala and to the community that this happened than a movie about it that exposes it. And all of us should rise up and stand against such activities. I'm not sure if Varis Pathan is still with us. If he's here, he can respond to that. Rahul
I am
Ishwar.
very much here.
Yes, Varis
I want
Pathan,
to respond.
Yes, Rahul Ishwar is
I
also
want to
joining us.
respond.
Varis Pathan, respond.
Why was Parzania banned in Gujarat? Why did the Modi government ban the BBC documentary film based on the Gujarat genocide of Muslims in 2002? And we all know who was the superstar in that movie. Why did the government ban that? Why was no UN cried at that time?
There was
Parzania
actually.
was banned in Gujarat, and I'm shocked and surprised. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I am shocked and surprised that you earlier said who's trying to polarize the situation, the BJP. Prime Minister Modi, the Prime Minister of the largest democracy in the world, on the stage is trying to promote the movie. Where do we head to? He is silent on Manipur, where hundreds of people have been died. He is silent on Kashmir, where our Jawans have been martyred. Tomorrow I won't be surprised if the Prime Minister goes to the Kapil Sharma show to promote the movie as well. So who's trying to play politics? Who's trying to polarize? Who's trying to appease the majority community prior to the Karnataka
Okay,
election?
Tom
It
Varadkar,
was
you want
the
to respond
BJP
very quickly on that? That's a
for
charge
few
directly
votes.
at the BJP.
Very dramatic indeed. Why should the Prime Minister go into a Kapil Sharma show? The kind of footprints that this film is getting is clear indication of its acceptance. He talks about the soldiers.
Allow
What
me.
about the pundits that were butchered? And that film that came out at point of time. Let's not,
10 seconds.
create
10
a situation
Yeah.
where you think you are talking, you're creating a narrative, but the reality is you're changing goalposts. You are talking about
I'm not-
Kerala, my state. I belong to that state. And the fact of the matter is, two chief ministers have accepted the fact that they exist. Why can't you go
Allow
and
me,
tell the
Ramesh,
Congress
just-
party and the left parties that delete those statistics that have been given by the
Allow
chief
me,
minister?
10
Okay,
seconds.
Varis Pradhan, very quickly, I have
10
to bring in
seconds.
Rahul Ishwar. Varis Pradhan.
Just allow me 10 seconds. You see what is the after effect of the film? That is why we are objecting. The people who are coming out of the movie theater, what slogans are they chanting against the Muslims? They are creating hatred. They are trying to create a communal setup in the country. That is why we say it's a propaganda and lies, and the majority communities have taken to it. That, oh, this is true, and so they are anti-Muslim. We have got several videos on the social media which are available that they are shouting slogans against the Muslims, anti-Muslim slogans are being shouted after watching the movie.
Okay,
So
let me
who's
bring
trying
in
to create?
Rahul
We
Ishwar
want
also.
peaceful
Stay
atmosphere
with
in
me.
our country.
Gentlemen, stay with me. I'll take your concern. Rahul Ishwar, the fundamental question that we've got the first response from the Catholic Bishops' Council as well. They're saying that, what is the facts that are shown in this movie are based on certain events. Those events are a reality. ISIS recruitment did take place in Kerala, men and women. But there seems to be a problem with some sections of politics in India to not accept it because of vote bank politics. Do you agree with that statement?
Quick, three facts, all of us can agree, whether we belong to right, left, Hindu, Muslim or Christian. But 3 girls were forcefully converted or they were subjected to forced conversion and they went outside and they joined ISIS or Islamist radicals. That's a matter of documented fact. We cannot deny. Nimisha, Fatima, Sonia, Sebastian, Mariam are their names. Second, 32,000 is a gross exaggeration. That number is absolutely wrong. The Kerala story producer and director officially accepted in the Kerala High Court. They are retracting this number and they won't be using the number of 32,000 anymore. So that is also a fact. Third point, we need to fight Islamic radicalism without Islamophobia. Then only we will be able to win. Our Home Minister, very senior leader, Rajnath Singh Ji, in 2013, 15, 17 said, ISIS and Al-Qaeda couldn't win in India because of the greatness of India and the influence of Indian Muslims. So we need our Muslim brothers on our side to fight against Islamic radicalism. That's the reason why we
But
need
that's
not have
precisely the
Islamophobia.
point here, Rahul. When political parties jump the gun and presume that Indian Muslims are going to be offended by a film that's about a terror module, aren't you insulting Indian Muslims?
Yeah, just one more submission. KCDC is one of the most respected organizations in Kerala because 90% of studied in Christian schools. So KCDC is a very well-respected organization. If they are raising a point, we should respect and understand the point. Umman Chandi has pointed out in the floor of the House that 2,500 people from 2006 to 2012 have been subjected to conversion. Please remember, this is not post-conversion, but conversion.
Right.
There has been concerns raised by former CM V.S. Sachidanandan against Popular Front of India, saying that Popular Front of India is trying to convert Kerala into an Islamic state. So there are some facts on the ground we need to get concerned. Yes, the numbers may be inflated, but some incidents have happened. We need to empathize with them. We need to be with them. And I request our Muslim brothers to also support the families of Nimisha, Fatima and all because their children is not there. It is only a matter of debate for all of us, but it's a matter of life and death for those families. So let us be sensitive and respectful towards them. But incidents have happened. That is not
All right.
our right.
I have to go cut across to the developments in Pakistan now. I thank all of you for joining us.